If you eat while watching a video simultaneously, you are making yourself dumb and giving yourself a disadvantage in every area of life. Let me explain. But first, who am I and why should you listen to me? My name is Marco. I went from being a total phone addict with a screen time of over 8 hours each day, with most of it being scrolling on Insta, TikTok and Shorts and binge watching useless shit, to now having a screen time to under 2 hours. And with that, I've lots of free time. And I filled my free time with productive stuff, with stuff that actually brings me further in life. With my new free time, I improved my body and I went from skinny to muscular. On top of that, I improved my physical and my mental health tremendously. I fixed my poor sleep and now sleep better than 95% of all people. I traveled around in Europe and in Asia. I rediscovered nature and now find the small things in life enjoyable. On top of that, I climbed the highest mountain in Oman. I read around 70 books in German, French and in English. I ran my first competitive 10K and I'm training for a marathon. I started 2 YouTube channels, this one and one in Spanish, and I never spoke a word of Spanish before I started. So I'm learning a new language. I also learned how to play the piano. And most important, I improved my relationship with my family. I was able to do all of that thanks to my compendious 5 years of quitting that helped me tremendously in all of that. You are making yourself dumber when you are eating while you're watching a video. And today I will explain why, so you stop doing it. Back when I was still scrolling and a phone addict, whenever I would eat food, I was always watching a video or scrolling. First I would prepare my food. And then as soon as I prepare my food, I would grab my phone and then I'll search for a good video to watch. Most of the time, or sometimes, searching a video to watch took almost longer than making the food. So as soon as I found my video, I had it in one hand and then I started to eat. The thing with that is, not consciously but unconsciously, I thought to myself I was productive. Of course I didn't say it out loud and I didn't think it, but unconsciously I probably thought, oh, if I watch a video and eat, I'm more productive because I do 2 things at the same time. I'm doing multitasking, so I'm so much more productive. I value my time more. That's at least what I thought, or what I thought I was doing. That's why I was doing it. Of course, I also watched movies or videos because my dopamine was fucked and eating didn't give me enough stimuli, but that's another story. The thought of, oh, when I'm watching a movie or a video and while eating I'm being more productive is utter bullshit. What you're doing is multitasking, yes. But multitasking doesn't fucking work. And I tell you why. Multitasking doesn't work. And you are training on focus. So why does multitasking not work? A study has shown that only 2% of all people can multitask at an efficient level. Every other human being can't do multitasking at an efficient level. In actuality, you harm yourself more while doing multitasking. And explain why. Multitasking, or what you think multitasking is when you do 2 things simultaneously. You think, oh, I'm eating and I'm being on your phone. Or another example of multitasking is, oh, I'm watching a movie and I'm being on my phone. Or replying to notes. Or I'm talking to a person and I'm being on my phone and replying to a text. All of those things are multitasking. The thing with multitasking is, it doesn't work. Multitasking, our brain or our focus isn't designed to multitask. Because what we do in actuality is, we focus switch. We just switch one focus from another. We can't split our focus. No, we can't do that. We focus on that and that for a few seconds, and on that, and on that, and on that. When we eat, it will work like this. We focus on the food for a few seconds. Then we focus on the video. Then we focus on the food. Then we focus on the video. Then we focus on the food. Then we focus on the video. With that, we are training on focus. Because what focus is when we can focus and be attentive to just one thing. And we just have one thing in our mind. We talk to one person. We focus on one specific task. We focus on one specific book when we read it. And unfocus is the complete opposite. And unfocus is, like I said, when you eat and you watch something on your phone, you are training unfocus. because you're focus switching. It's the complete opposite of focusing. And the thing with focus and unfocus is you can train it. Unfocus and focus is like a muscle. In the gym, when you want to train your bicep, you do bicep curls, right? And every curl will increase your muscle very, very slightly. The same applies for focus. When you focus on one thing particular, just on one thing, let's say you are focusing just on a book. When you read the book and just focusing on that book, you are practicing and improving your focus. And you are fully and basically curling your bicep just with your focus. With unfocus, you also train unfocus. The more you do unfocus, the better you get at unfocus. And you train unfocus every day. You train unfocus when scrolling. When you scroll, you focus on a video, then 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 a video. When you scan through an article, you scan through the article unfocusedly because you just look at the surface level. You aren't fully focused on the article. Probably there are multiple articles. One is about war, one about politics, one about this or that. Because of that, you are training unfocus everywhere. And now you may think, oh, but if I train unfocus, I'm getting better at unfocus, so someday I can be able to do multitasking. The thing is, it doesn't work like that. Our mind, our focus isn't designed to focus on multiple things. So if you just do unfocus, you simply just get worse at focusing, and with that, just worse at life. You will have no benefit at all, because we simply aren't able to focus on multiple things. If you ever try to read and then focusing on a conversation, you can't. Because you need so much focus to read and so much focus to talk, you can't do both. The same applies to literally everything. Why does it make you dumber? Multitasking makes you dumber because you are training unfocus. First, unfocus, like I already said, is the opposite of focus. So you're training to be worse at focus. And you need focus in every area of life. When you talk to someone, you need focus to listen attentively and to know what you want to say, because when you focus on what the person said, you know what you want to say. When you want to read, you need to be able to focus. When you want to work, you need to be able to focus and study for a long period of time. The better you get at focus, the better you get at work, the better you get at study, the better you get at listening and talking to people, the better you get at every fucking thing in life. When you want to develop a new hobby, like I did, to learn a piano, you need to also be able to focus, because learning the piano is hard because you play over and over the wrong chords. So if you can't focus for a long period of time, after a few times you fail, you feel bored and you feel unfocused, so you just leave and you will never be able to learn a new skill. So that's the first reason that you're making yourself dumber and giving yourself a disadvantage, because you are training unfocus. The next thing is, when you do that, when you do multitasking, you harm your cognitive functions. There was a study I read that when you train or when you do multitasking, you actually harm your cognitive functions. You harm your mind, your memory, because the simple answer is your mind isn't designed to focus on multiple things. It simply isn't designed. Our evolution isn't designed to have multiple things. Only in recent history we were able to do that. For 1,000 years we weren't really able to train on focus, because we haven't had phones, we haven't had scrolling, etc. Only in recent years unfocus became popular because it was so easy to do. Because of that, because our evolution and our body isn't designed to do multitasking, cognitive function just declines and our memory, our mind just get worse. And when our memory and our mind get worse, we become dumber. And you are making yourself, or you giving yourself, a disadvantage in life. And the last thing is, what you are consuming makes you dumber. You probably heard the phrase, you are what you eat. I want to take this even further, because it's true, you are what you eat. But I want to take this further. You also are what you consume. When you consume shitty content like brain rot, just useless entertainment shit, you make yourself dumber, because you are what you consume. But if you just consume educational stuff, if you just read, if you just focus on watching improvement stuff, in learning stuff, then you will make yourself smarter. But the reality is, most of the human beings just watch useless shit. They watch stupid fucking Netflix series. They watch a trash TV series. They binge watch and scroll useless memes. The reality is, you are what you consume. And if your mind is clustered with this useless information, you only can produce useless information. And that's why you're making yourself dumber. We've established that you make yourself dumber by doing multitasking, by simply doing two things at once. And as we established, you can't do those things. So how to fix it? Simply, stop your phone addiction, stop binge watching useless shit, stop eating, watching a movie, talking to people when you're on your phone. When you want to be on your phone, simply do that. Be on your phone. When you want to talk to a person, simply talk to a person. Do one thing at a time. And a caveat I want to add. When you're on your phone, you probably are doing multitasking regardless of what you do, because you have so many different apps on your phone. When you are, let's say, on your phone, you have multiple social media apps. So you go on Insta. After a few seconds, you don't want to be on Insta, so you go on TikTok. Then there you scroll, so you do multitasking regardless. So basically what you need to do is you need to stop your phone addiction, you need to stop your scrolling addiction. Luckily for you, I can help you with that. I created my compendious 5 pillars of quitting that help me with stopping my phone addiction, with stopping scrolling, reducing my screen time, and improving my focus so I can actually focus on just one thing at a time. With that, I was able to develop new skills, new hobbies, and I was more productive in every area of life. So, if you want help with that, then click the first link in the description. The only thing I want to say is, you need to just do one thing at a time and focus on that. If you just do that, you will get better. And the second is, you need to stop scrolling. And you do stop your phone addiction. And you need to take action right now. You don't need to take my method. You can find your own method. I'm fine either way. But what you need to do is, you need to take action. You are in control. You decide. You decide if you want to take my method or you find another method. But what I want for you is that you take action. I'm fine if you take another method, but I'm not fine if you don't take action. So take action right now and stop your phone addiction and stop scrolling so you can stop making yourself dumber and giving yourself a disadvantage in life. Right, on that note, have a great day, sleep well, and I see you in the next one. Goodbye.